Attention bobsled riders! You will soon be embarking on a thrilling podcast down the icy slopes of the Matterhorn. So please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the bobsled at all times. Auf Wiedersehen!
We're ready.
All right. Hello, yodelers. We are the Matterhorn Yodelers. I am your host today, Peter, with my co-host
Jackie.
and
Japheth.
and
Father Yodeler?
yes, and
Oh.
today we are telling more stories, but this time's a little different because we normally do the Haunted Mansion ghost stories. Well, today we're telling pirate tales. Pirate tales. So we're taking the same premise that we have with our Haunted Mansion episodes, where we pick a character within the attraction and we write our own backstory for them.
I'm writing about the chicken that's chasing the pirate.
Just the chicken.
Just the chicken. And so we've all picked our own pirates, and we're gonna share our stories. We're gonna start things off. Jackie's gonna start us off.
Yeah, so my pirate is the pirate that hangs out with the pigs.
He made it into the
movie.
The movies.
Yes.
With Johnny Depp, yes.
Though I'm not going off of the movies, this is my own story
Sure.
that I created.
Oh, you pulling a Disney where you don't pull any canon? And you're just like, no.
this is just
Forget the fans. I need creative freedom
Right.
to destroy this franchise.
so we're just going off the cuss. My pirate, his name is Henry.
Henry.
Henry, and we're gonna go back to the tale when he was a young lad. He was out. He's a farmer, and on his farm there were pigs.
Did they go oink oink here and oink oink there? You could tell.
Oh,
I've got a
Pirate
1-year-old.
Henry. Yeah. Oh.
Sorry.
Yes, and he was on a farm. And he was raised on the farm, and he loves his pigs. They were his only friends, and so he was a family farm. But then, unfortunately, his mother, who owned the farm, died, and his father died in a war.
Oh.
It was very sad. But he was old.
Which war? Do we know the war? Have you picked out the war?
No.
Oh, come on,
It's a
Jackie.
war. It was a.
It was Europe back then. There were a lot of wars.
There were.
He didn't know. He just, I don't know. I'm fighting against some war. It's Wednesday. We're at war with
Isn't that today now?
Netherlands? Are we at war with the Netherlands right now? I don't know. I think it's
Yes.
Denmark. Oh. Okay.
So both of his parents died, and so he was left with the farm. But unfortunately, they owed too many taxes,
Oh.
and so
That dreaded tax man.
Die, Mr. Taxman, die.
and so he loses the farm.
Tragedy after tragedy.
And he loses his pigs. And I forgot to mention this part with the pigs. He would play with the pigs, but also try to train the pigs to do tricks and such.
What type of tricks?
Playing dead. No. I'm kidding.
He like
Play like
trick-
bacon. Sizzle.
tricks where he trains them to jump into the fire.
No.
Now roll around. Lather yourself in butter.
No. That's all jokes. He was trying to train them to be like circus pigs, jump on top of each other, dance around on 2 feet.
Is this what you mean by how we modify your stories
Yes.
for you? Okay.
No, the circus was all a part of it.
Okay.
But unfortunately, he loses his pigs because they needed to sell the pigs off to pay off the taxes of the land and whatnot. So he loses everything. So sad. And so he finds himself at a pub.
As most people who lose the farm end up in the pub.
At the pub, and he's drunk. He's drinking his sorrows away. And then a gentleman, I don't know if you would call him a gentleman though, would come up and be like, I see you have I can't do a pirate accent, so
Arr.
yes, you are.
Just start talking, and Dad will say "R" once in there.
And he goes, I see you you're sad. And he goes, yes, I'm really sad.
Want a pig?
He's got tears in his eyes. I just got this fresh ham from this farm that just got closed down. Do you want some? It's delicious.
Apparently, his name was Billy.
He was training for the circus. Salt in the wound. Oh no, it doesn't need any salt. It tastes good as it is.
So he meets this gentleman and he goes, I can take care of your sadness. Come and join my crew and you'll get all the riches you need and you can have your pigs back in the again. And so Henry becomes a pirate and, invades towns and stuff, and he purposely looks for the pigs and hangs out with them, but of course has a bottle of rum with him.
It's the pillaging drink
That's it.
chosen by
Yes.
pirates.
It absolutely is.
Find the rum, and Henry's like, where's the pigs?
Where's the pig?
Where's
We
the
watch
pigs?
the
The
pigs. We
We
watch the pigs.
And that's the story of Henry with the pigs.
Yo.
So next time you see him, you go, good day, Henry. Hope you enjoy your time with the pigs.
I love how you picked up halfway through an English accent, like you're in the countryside.
I know, right?
You're like, I can't do a pirate accent, but I'll pick up an English one.
It's like the one accent I could kind of do because that's what me and Mark do in the house.
We use accents.
Yes.
All right, Father Yodeler, give us. This is your inaugural storytelling
Yes.
here. Let's hear your story.
Okay, so I'm talking about the Cootie brothers.
The Cootie Brothers.
The Cootie brothers. Now, you'll recognize them from the ride when you get to the end and you're about to go up.
The
And
one-
like there's the one that's on the cannon
Oh,
shooting.
the anxiety room.
Yeah,
Oh.
they hate this room.
And then there's also his brother that's sitting on barrels of explosives, balancing on there while he's shooting. And there's those two brothers. Now, their story is their father came to the New World back in early times, and he was a hunter. And he trained his two sons to hunt. And they became excellent marksmen. And they were excellent at shooting all the beasts out there in the fields and to bring the prize home.
Get 'em all.
But then the Spanish governors
Ugh,
came in
The
and
Spanish
they
Inquisition.
said,
No.
they said, no, this is our land, and so if you shoot beasts out there, you owe us money for them.
Yeah, you
And-
can't hunt on royal land. no.
Exactly. And so they were out of business, and their father passed away from hunger, basically.
Man, it's bad to be a parent in this story.
Yes.
We're
it
two
is.
for 2-0 with
They're
dads
passing out.
dying.
I know.
So these two sons, they were excellent marksmen. They come across somebody by the name of Barbosa that is looking
I
for
recognize
some
that name.
people. Yes.
He's my favorite.
And so he's out there looking for some crews and mateys, and when he learns how they can shoot, he gets very interested in having them on board. The only problem is they don't shoot so good when they get liquored up. And so when they go out to the villages and the cities when they're pillaging and so on, they kind of shoo these brothers away and say, you've gotten too much to drink. We don't want you around there. And so they wander around until they end up in the explosives room where they have to face off, and they get a little challenging each other about their marksmanship.
Brothers don't challenge each other.
Never.
Yeah, they
Their
do.
brothers are never competitive.
Well, sometimes.
Two brothers.
Jeez. Dads die and brothers die at Disney. Boy, we're.
Well, this is the
I don't like
truth.
this is going for us, Peter. We're dads
I
and
know,
brothers.
I know.
Because if you go down there, down that ride, you're only going to see one brother, because apparently one did not survive sitting on those barrels and exploding. Because he used to be there, but
He's not there anymore.
apparently not there anymore. He disappeared about time Jack Sparrow entered the picture, and he's no longer there in the attraction for you to see, even though he was designed early on by Disney. So there's a little truth there. If you look at early pictures of Pirates of the Caribbean, you're going to see the Mr. Cootie, who was sitting on top of the barrels of explosives, shooting his gun and wobbling towards your vessel as you pass by. But he's gone now. And so actually, he was the one that was called Cootie, but his brother took that off, and now he's Mr. Cootie,
Ah,
the one on the cannon.
nice.
If only he got a cootie shot.
Cooties. Big old cooties like that. So that's a little Disney fact in there with some fiction.
Love it. Love the Disney fact. I know. I saw you prepping for the podcast. You had like 3 or 4 different of the Disney books.
You had the Mark
open up.
Davis artwork book,
Yeah.
didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely put in a little bit more effort than I think most of us did. To the
I
research.
said I need some kind of inspiration here.
All right. Thank you so much. Japheth, your turn. Your story.
So, Jackie had pigs, and Dad had drunken brothers shooting each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got the Hat Thief. That is
Hats.
what he
Hat
is
Thief.
known for. He is known as the Hat Pirate or the Hat Thief. He's seen on the ride carrying a chest of treasure, and he's got, I would say, several hats on top of his head, and so that is why he's known as the Hat Thief. But what you don't know
He's got a dark story.
is that he was once a little boy.
Was he on a pig farm?
No.
Did he
No.
have a father?
There was a father involved at one point. Again, these stories don't go well
They're
for fathers. little Antonio,
Oh.
little hijo Antonio.
Is that his name or
Anto-
his father's?
No,
We're
the
not
Hat
talk-
Thief is named Antonio.
We're not talking about the father.
No,
Oh,
he was a small boy in a small little house in a village near a port city, but just away, and it was just him and his mother. But he was a curious boy. You know how little kids are, like, why is this? Why is that? And he goes, "Where's Dad?" And Mom goes, "Well, he's on a boat, and like, what did he look like?" And he was a handsome man, just like you, and he was big and strong, and he had a hat. It was
He had a hat.
a big
Had a
hat.
feather.
Yes, he did. He goes, it was a big hat, and it made him look important. And
Was his name Captain Hook?
No.
From France.
no, this is a Spanish town.
Oh,
All right.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, he was.
They hate the French.
They work. They're Latin based. There's a love hate there. No, he was. The mother would just say he wore a hat, and people were so impressed with him. And she goes, you see a man with a hat, and a great hat, he's important. And she goes, that's what I fell in love with him, because I knew he was important, and he was Rico Suave. He was
Rico
yeah, he was very rich and suave. I mean, he's very and swept him up. But he was,
Is it
take
like Zorro.
yeah. He was a very handsome man, and he went to sea, and we never heard from him. Slowly he sank into the sea without no life preserver. He sank into the sea. Yeah, so the boy was just fascinated about the hat because the mother described it. Hold on. And so he, not having really the material, he made like straw hats and trying to like, Mom, was a hat like this? Like, oh no, it was bigger, more flamboyant, and he was just fascinated. He goes, someday I'll be able to buy a rich hat, a very nice hat, but he was just so poor. So one time his mom, wanted him to go to town and buy some pigs at a local farm that just shut down. She's like, we need some bacon. Can you go find us some? And he's like, all right. And she's like, here's some, some Spanish blooms to, treat you for your birthday and, see what you can get. And he's like, this is what I need. I'm going to get that hat. I want to like be important and maybe impress, a port girl that, I can have a wife. And so he goes there and he sees the local hat shop and he's like, these hats are amazing. How much? And the hat guy's like, you can't afford these hats, and I can't have you wearing my hats, wearing those tattered clothes. It's bad for business. So he felt dejected and he what did he do? He went to the bar,
Yeah.
He went to the local pub, saw a man crying there. My pigs. He's like, what a loser.
This is a kid too.
He looked down on him and was all like, kid. and so while I was in there, he was having like a local drink, so libation of some sort.
Wait, your character?
Yeah,
I
my
thought
character.
he's a kid.
No, he grew up.
Oh, okay.
He grew up.
The
and
drinking
stuff.
ages were different.
It's
back
different. It's
there.
Europe. It's totally different. No, he
Very
grew up.
different.
Okay, I'm
He
sorry.
grew up. Sorry, I've glossed over that. Yeah, he grew up. He was
Okay.
trying to, time went by, and in walks in the Marquis. He had a red velvet hat
Ooh.
with black trim and a feather. He was just like, that is an important man's hat right there. And he goes, I want that hat. So he just minded his business, but he was fixated on that hat. He's like, I want that hat. As the night went on, the drinks were flowing. Everyone was having a good time. There was laughter. There were tears.
Yeah.
And, he got that liquid courage and he says, I'm going to take that hat when he's not looking. And he did. Unfortunately, one of the Marquis men saw him take it.
Oh.
And so he had to run. He was zigzagging in and out of streets.
One jump.
It's no street rat right here. Eventually, he had to ditch the hat. He's like, it's too well known. I can't get away with it. And he ended up like tossing it, into some barrels. And he saw a local ship that was in port. It was called the Wicked Wench. Yes. And he goes, I just need somewhere to hide. I don't care. He jumped in there. There wasn't anybody really watching. And he was hiding in the cargo. He could hear the Marquis man looking for him, looking for this important hat. Well, he fell asleep, and he woke up and they were out to sea. The whole crew was there, and that was Captain Barbossa's ship.
Ah.
And so
Barbossa, he gets around.
he does. He's a quite a privateer, or captain right there. So he's found as a stowaway, and Barbossa was just all like, we don't want stowaways. And he's like, hey, I just wanted a hat, and I ended up here. I'll do anything. And he worked himself up. He learned the trade. And then that's where you find him on the pirate ride when they're attacking Isla Tesoro. He is seen, robbing all those hats, hoping to bring them home to his poor mom, who to this day is still calling for Antonio, my little hat boy, come home.
And that's where Barbossa got all his fancy hats, no doubt.
It's, you go to your hat guy.
Yeah.
He's got a pig guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you got his hat guy. Whether Antonio made it home, we don't know. But we know he had a nice hat.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your tale. Now, I've got my tale. My tale is the tale of a tale of a tale of a tale.
Is it a whale
It's
tail?
a
A whale of a
tale.
tale. I'll tell you, lad, a whale of a tale or two. No, so this tale is a tale about rum.
Rum.
This is
Does rum have a father?
rum. Does
Are
not
you gonna
have a
kill the father in this one?
No, I will not kill the father. Okay.
He's stretching on his paper. Father does not die.
Get rid of that. Skip ahead. No, so we're gonna start this story off in France. We have this young landowner who inherited land from his father, a vineyard.
Another father's story.
Father died.
No.
Because he
no,
inherited.
No. Well, I mean, it's the family land.
Okay.
And growing up on a vineyard, you're accustomed to fine liquids. And so one day, he's sharing a drink with somebody, and they're talking about, oh, this fine brandy is good, and this is good here, and they were partaking in some rum, and someone says, the best rum. This is good rum, but the best rum can only be found in the Caribbean.
Mm.
And so he goes, all right, well, I've got some time. I've got some money. Let's go to the Caribbean. Let's go to the Caribbean and find some good tasting rum.
Boy, he's just like, yeah, I just want some good rum.
He's a connoisseur of fine liquids.
He gets to the source of it, doesn't he?
That's what he does. He's very well off. He's a man of much wealth. So he makes his way down to the Caribbean, and he goes around asking, he's like, where can I find the best rum? And so he goes to different places, and they have all their unique flavors, but they all roughly taste the same. And he's kind of a little discouraged because
I just went to the
I just
Caribbean from
wasted all this
France.
for something that tastes the same that I get at home. And so he's talking to the owner of the bar or tavern, I should say. The establishment of alcohol, and the bartender goes, well, I don't know if this is anything for you, but you might be, there is told of a tale of a bottle of rum. Sorry, I had a brain fart there.
You mentioned lots of alcohol, and you're like, which one are you going to pick?
Brandy, wine, yes, rum. We're talking about rum.
But what about it?
Yeah, so they said that there was this tribe of natives from Brazil.
Don't mess with. They've got too much magic involved.
So there was this
That's Trader
tribe.
Sam.
I believe it was the Tupi tribe. I believe is what they're called.
I thought it was the Tuki Tuki.
The Tupi. Tupi. The Tupi people.
To pee or not to pee?
That is what my bladder asks.
Now, these were people not normally known for their friendship. They are known for their cannibalism. But one of they told the tale of these group of explorers. They came upon a village. They were able to find a way to communicate with them and not be attacked by them. And eventually they developed a friendship. And so they poured some of their homemade rum into one of their bottles, and they blessed it, saying that it would never run out, and it will be the most desirable liquid above anything else. And so they're like, great, thank you so much. And then they burned the village to the ground as they left.
Oh,
That's an escalation.
Yes, it is.
Merry Christmas.
Little-
Here's this gift. I'm firebombing your house.
Little did we know, these were pirates that had come to basically ransack their little village. Well, obviously, the tribe of cannibals were not happy about this, so much that they vowed revenge, that they went and they went and assimilated themselves with regular society. They learned several different languages just so that they have the chance to try to hunt this pirate who had done them
Vengeance.
wrong. Vengeance. And to this day, it's known that they are still looking for this pirate with this wine. Not wine. The
rum.
The rum.
Did you tell us his name?
His name is the main guy's name.
Yes.
Right. His name was what was it? It was Francois.
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 It's got to be French.
It's got to be
Yes.
French. He's French.
Francois.
Francois. And so his name's not necessarily important to the story. Okay. But he hears this story and he goes, well, that's an interesting story, but like, that's just a story. He says, well, I hear, I've heard from several sources that, it's, from people that have actually partaken of it and drinking from that bottle and they tell that tale. And he goes, well, okay, well, I'll look into it. And so it intrigued him. So he went around to the different taverns, to different islands, asking about the story and hearing the same story, but with slight differences here or there, being able to piece together, maybe I might be able to, possibly find either find the rum or find the pirate or something, because he was actually getting more and more information. As he got enough information, he kind of narrowed his search down to a big cluster of islands in the Caribbean. There's at least 30, 40 islands in this cluster. And so he was trying to, hire a ship. But no honest sailor was willing to take that risk. You want us to go island to island looking for
Cannibal rum.
for cannibals and pirates? No, thank you. I'm not going to sign up for that. So eventually he was able to convince a group of pirates. He's a man of great wealth, and he says, hey, and there's an endless supply of rum at the end of the journey. So he got a
It's
crew
like the
on board.
everlasting gobstopper.
It totally
Yeah.
is. It's the everlasting gobstopper. So they went around from island to island, not finding a lot of luck, but building unity and friendship. And he really saw that this crew was a happy crew. Even the captain had a good relationship with the crew.
Esprit de corps.
It was like a family of friends almost, basically, on this ship, until like one day they're sailing and they come to the next island and they see what looks like remains of another ship. And they're like, well, that's interesting. Let's go investigate. So they go and they check it out and they go, well, this looks like it's been here for several decades, which kind of lined up with his research that he had gotten from various storytellers and historians. And so they're like, well, maybe there's something deeper into the jungle. So they went deeper into the jungle and they get ambushed. They get ambushed by the natives there, and they get taken to the chief, and they're like,
This is the Tupi Tupi.
I'm
Are
getting
they
there.
the? I'm just curious.
I'm getting there. So they're getting there, and they're getting ready to be sacrificed or killed. But they're trying to plead, begging, like, please, no, we're not here to harm you or anything like that. And
They're
then
like,
the chief speaks,
Missy.
and the chief speaks to them in their own language, and says, why have you come to my island, to my people? And he goes, we're here on a journey to find this bottle of rum. And he goes, rum? You can get that anywhere. Why are you on my island? He says, well, this rum is special. It never stops flowing. It's an endless supply of rum. And he goes, oh, you're talking about the sacred liquid. Oh, the sacred liquid. Yeah, okay, yeah. Like, that's what, do you know anything about that? He says, yes, I know everything about that. In fact, I can take you to where it's at. He says, you know where it's at? Yes, it's here on this island. And so,
This is your lucky day.
And then the pirates are very skeptical. They're like,
Too
this
good to
seems,
be true.
This seems like a trap. And he goes, no trap. I'm not here to trap you. In fact,
I'm here to eat you.
I will take you myself, and you can take me as prisoner, and I will take you to where it's located. And they're like, okay, I guess this is worth it. So they all continue on through the jungle till they find a cave that goes pretty deep. They actually travel through the cave for a good 20, 30 minutes deep inside the cave till they get to kind of a big opening. And the chief says, this is where it's at. And they go, where? And as they look around, they see treasure everywhere. They can definitely tell like this was basically a pirate stash. And so they see, a bunch of weapons and things like that. And they also notice a bunch of skeletons everywhere. And they're like, well, where's this bottle? And he goes, if you look over there. And they look, and they see a skeleton holding the bottle on the ground, and it's still pouring out of the bottle endlessly all over the ground. And so Francois, he comes to pick it up, ready to this is the moment he's been waiting for. He has been on this journey for years looking for this bottle at this point. So he's getting ready to drink it, and the pirate captain snatches it from his hand, and he goes, this is mine now. And he goes, we had a deal. And he goes, yeah, you promised us endless rum, not you. And
He's got you there.
And so,
Never
the
make a
captain
deal.
takes a swig and passes it to their crew. All in the meantime, the chief kind of steps away.
He's like,
I'm going to step away right now. And then the crew, they start passing it around, start drinking. They're like, oh, this is delicious. This is, the best rum I've ever had in my life. And they keep drinking and passing around till some of the pirates, they get a little anxious. And they're like, no, I want another turn. They start shoving with each other. Then they start fighting with their fist until eventually they start pulling out their weapons and start attacking each other. These men who were once brothers, so much friendship, were now at each other's throats with weapons, killing each other over this bottle of rum, till eventually all the pirates lie dead on the floor with the rum back on the ground spilling over. Now,
What about Francois? Yeah.
Francois, he's still there. He kind of was like, let's go. Okay, this is kind of crazy. But he goes, well, everyone's gone and it's mine. And so he takes it, and he's hesitant, but he's all like, I've waited this long. I'm going to take a drink. So he takes a drink, puts it down, starts heading towards the exit, picks it up, starts drinking again, until eventually he can't keep it down anymore. It's so good to him. He can't put his arm down. He's constantly devouring this liquid till eventually he drowns.
Wow.
Drinking the endless supply of rum.
Too
And it
good.
was so good that even his skeleton, the structure of his body, was still holding it up.
petrified.
The petrified bones of holding this bottle up, because even in death, this liquid was desired. And there he lay in the cave of treasure, drinking his endless supply of rum.
Dead man.
Yo ho, yo ho. What a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Tell us what you think. Did you guys like our stories, our takes on these pirate tales? What would you have changed? What would you have added?
Save
us-
Henry's pigs.
Yum.
But share with us. Our podcast is now on YouTube. Just the audio for now. We haven't gotten to video yet, but all the episodes should be up on YouTube. You could still subscribe to us on anywhere where you listen to our podcasts. You can write to us at matterhornyodelers@gmail.com or any of our other social media sites. And until next time, dead men tell no tales. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Matterhorn Yodelers. Please remember before your bobsled comes to a complete stop to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember,
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.